Hey guys, it's Savina. I wanted to jump on here and I wanted to read you two poems that I wrote very early on after I got out of that abusive relationship and after the fire and everything. And it was about this particular person that did all those horrible things to me. And this is a little different than what I normally write, but it kind of lays out the deception and kind of where my heart was at and where this person's heart was at, and I kind of make it into a little story. So this one's called The Dance. She was young and naive, easy to deceive, delicate and faint, somewhat a saint, hungry for change, in some ways was strange, open for new, oh, what that would do. A sinister smile met her one night, eager to feed on his own appetite, eyes like a hawk, physique of a snake. Words whispered out, "Hi, my name is Jake." The days she thought she was missing, blinded by all their ravishing kissing. Passion had its fall when she realized there was no ball. She should have lost both her slippers since Prince Charming became Mr. Ripper. Sometimes love pays a price when it is lust that made her initially enticed. From the moment he seemed to ask her name, she did not realize she had entered a game. All this seemed exciting and new. For a second, it was like a dream come true. He continued to pursue her all through the late hours, even went and picked her some burgundy flowers, preparing her heart to accept his invite. They entered into the twilight. The days she thought she was missing, blinded by all their ravishing kissing. Passion at its fall when she realized there was no ball. She should have lost both her slippers since Prince Charming became Mr. Ripper. Sometimes love pays a price when it was lust that made her initially enticed. He asked her to dance under the crescent moon, then gently kissed her and began to consume all of the breath inside of her lips as he held tightly to her lovely hips. She gasped for air, but he didn't stop when suddenly there was a little pop. She fell to the ground with no one around. He kissed her goodnight after his bite. Kind of what happened in a way. You know, a lot of the stuff that I share is super dark, right? I was involved with a person that was very much so into a lot of dark stuff, and I had said in one of my earlier videos, he had actually cut me and sucked my blood at 14 years old. I mean, it was pretty bad, and everything was about control, and everything was about a mind game. And sometimes, you know, you have to make humor out of things that are so dark and sinister. Obviously, I've had to go through a lot of healing because of that situation, and understanding too, because anyone that's been with a sociopath or a psychopath or a narcissist, or, you know, all that combined, plus being involved in dark satanic things, you know, it's intense, you know. So some of the stuff that I've written, and I like these poems, and they may sound like, but I do, because, you know, it's just a way for me to express myself at that particular time in my life in a different way. The next one is actually a story. It's called The Wolfman Love Story. It's about a wolf, right? Okay. Nightfall was here. The reward for his habitual labor was well on its way, storming through borders, invading backward cities, collecting pieces and parts, digesting human hearts. Suddenly, his hot-lit eyes spotted an unusual sight. Her reflection off the quiet lake stifled his appetite. His nostrils flared, exposing smoke, for autumn's chill consumed his cloak. He swept across the trees, causing her to feel an abrupt breeze. She looked around, but no one was there. She knew a presence had snuck a stare. She continued on her way, but then felt compelled to pray, asking God to bring to her a man that would love her so, vocalizing that she didn't care if his looks were hard for others to bear, as long as he could truly love and appreciate her. Like his dove, she would be so grateful, for her heart wasn't capable of being hateful. She prayed the rest of the way while this man of the night listened intently to every word she did say. And when she got to her humble little home, she went to bed all alone. Now the time was 2:30. This beast did not know what to do, for his knight had now become defeated, for her words had made his will depleted. He began to weep. His wounds were deep. Nevertheless, all that came out were howls. He became an animal in love that could only growl. The anguish of this tragic story, he yearned to be held in all her glory. He proceeded to watch her while she slept in peace. She was an angel, but he was a beast. Then around 6 a.m., this beauty woke to start again. When she walked outside, her face went white, her eyes grew wide. Her little house had footprints all around, shaped like hearts but marks from a hound, a message from a tormented slave. Someone not even her love could save. I know they're a little different. Right, sometimes we think that our love can save somebody, right? No matter how much we do for them. We don't judge them by what they've been through, right? That was where I kind of was sucked in, because that person had been through so many really hard stuff and was in and out of psych wards and jail and was sexually abused, and I understood what a lot of stuff was, that kind of stuff was like, and I'm like, wow, if I can stay true to him and he can see that I have love in my heart, I would win him to want to treat me better. Like any abusive relationship, they usually don't abuse you when you first meet them, right? Usually, right? Normally they wine you, dine you, treat you like gold, put you on this pedestal, make you feel like the most beautiful, wonderful person, and then little by little they pick you apart, right? And then all of a sudden it's almost like a drug addict, right? It's like you're always chasing that initial high. You do not everyone understands this, but you do a line of coke, right? The rest of the night, you want to feel as good as you felt at that moment, or whatever. Any kind of high that we could chase in this life. And the same goes for when you're in an abusive relationship, because you long for it to be the way it was in the beginning. But sometimes, and every story is different. Mine was never genuine. Mine was never real. Mine was just a big game. It was literally said to me on multiple occasions, and it was very dark. So, sometimes I, especially early on, I've written a lot of stuff that was inspired by that relationship. And you know what? That's all I can say about that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.